Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
These are Franco-Nigerian cavalry, right?
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian knights.
He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light. Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
That projector is really fucking loud right over here, Christ. Wait, this looks like Rene, the old guy who was playing petanque.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
What exactly are these?
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
Inspect the figurines and rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers.
Well, you gotta respect the chutzpah of some mad lad who would run into battle with a fucking shovel up against like a musket line.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
The contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be.
I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among my customers.
Dig up a truly cool figurine under the box. Under the box. In the box. Under the table. In the log under the sea.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points to the decapitated figurine.
50 cents. Bargain price.
Ooh.
I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
50 cents? Yeah, I'll buy that.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
He grins. Oh god, this is like a gremlin situation. He's just giving me some kind of cursed shit. It's like the Froyo in The Simpsons. The figurine is also cursed.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand at the tips of my toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul.
What?
Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Wait, go back a second. Korea exists in this game? Why does Korea exist? Why is Seoul a place? Or is it spelled differently? Maybe the Korean one is spelled with a U in it, I don't remember, but... Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music. It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
It's shameful how insufficient the police presence is in these parts.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored.
Such as my viewers.
As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
JK, I love you all. Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind me.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Oh my god, 97%. Yeah, I've noticed a lot about him. His prices are strange. That is very true. I didn't think about that, but $700 for that light, 50 cents for the antique figurine, $2 for the shirt. What's he on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrholidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
So, where does a man get Pyrholidon these days?
How would I know?
No judgment, I'm just curious. I probably did loads of it before I lost my memory.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile? What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
A particle decay generator. Fascinating. I assume they mean a nuclear reactor.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
What is a particle decay generator?
A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile.
Oh, so that is what it is. Why the People's Pile?
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out.
Why did it fail?
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you were part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops. Must have been tough. Radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city, but
Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
What?
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Care to share your Pyrholidon with me?
You said you'd done it before, yeah?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. He won't be your knock, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Yeah, I think I've tried it once and I liked it.
Here you go, man.
He presents a large cap-shaped object in the palm of his hand. Very odd-looking.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Pyrholidon. Straight into your gut.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
There's something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Huh. The dock... Oh my god, that sells for a good chunk of change. Dock worker shift card. I don't think I'm going to get much more use out of this thing, so you know what? You can have that. The handkerchief, I don't need that anymore. Even though it was a gift from Kim, I don't care. I doubt I'm going to find the tape to put in this case. I'll probably find it. Oop, that's my noodle's done. Alright, it'll be a few minutes before that's edible. Let's sell the empty case. We could sell this as well, that one as well. I'll hold on to this just because I'd feel pretty bad if I sold this picture of his... what I assume is his girlfriend. The plastic headless found rider sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes as a set with the infamous found cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. Alright. I'd like to sell the clothes I'm wearing.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
Alright, well I don't have anything else to sell then.
Another time, perhaps.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What?
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
I don't remember her name, but I think it's that weird fucking art lady. The one who lives in the coal room and is awful. Sounds like it's her.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
I don't know, I think you're giving it too much credit, but yeah, I think that's who he's talking about.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Maybe she's a vigilante. She wants to prove she can do our jobs better than we can.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
Do you have any idea where I can find this lady?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Let's move on.
Of course.
You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Do you know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Alright, fair enough.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
I'll talk to you later then, Roy.
stand up